Short celebrations. Valerie's first birthday was approaching. I was thankful that she seemed to have little idea of the drama unfolding around her in the past few months. Kyra was 5 years old and in another condition entirely. Of course, Steve came to her birthday party at Nan and Gop's house. We put on our happy faces the best we could. We had not told the family we weren't together anymore. He looked good, really good, but his face and personality were poles apart. My family took notice of his depression. He bought Valerie a few gifts, which I thought was sweet, only to later learn that he'd taken the money from me without asking, literally taken money from his own children's mouths. Fraught with deception, nothing was off limits anymore. He was burning through my money. Even though we had closed our joint checking account, I hadn't changed my password. I'd known this man since I was 16 years old. Surely I didn't have to. I was wrong. Steve wasn't frightened of anything anymore. He had already decided he was far fiercer than the world. One night, I noticed the outdoor porch light was out. I didn't feel safe, so I never liked the backyard being so dark. It had caused an immediate reaction within me, so I swiftly changed it. 20 minutes later, I passed by the back door and noticed the light was out again. What the hell? Who did that? Slowly investigating, my heart was pounding a mile a minute. I was feebly clutching a steak knife, as if I would actually use it on anything. I opened the back door to replace the light again. As the bulb hung in an awkward lean, I knew it had been unscrewed, I assumed by Steve. He's freaking out on me. I went to tighten it, leaving one hand busy and the other hand basically useless, dangling a steak knife as I reached up. All of a sudden, Steve pounced out of the darkness. I dropped the knife and shrieked, unsure if I was being pummeled by an intruder. Seeing Steve actually made me feel some relief. "Don't ever do that to me again!" I pushed his chest, and he stumbled backwards. He hooted at my reaction, but pushed me inside as if he was hiding from someone. He looked at me as if he were about to say something, but he changed his mind and returned his attention to turning the light back off. I didn't ineludibly fear him. This was still a man I loved. I was upset, to say the least. Steve had never physically abused me, but he had suddenly become paranoid and intense. Unlike in the past, Steve began to direct his anger towards me. He spied on me at work and videotaped me when I went out. He tried to break back into the house often, twice unexpectedly kicking the dog door in. I didn't know it at first, but the reason he unscrewed the outdoor light bulb was to watch me while hidden in the darkness of our large doghouse. Most confusing of all was when he duct-taped a grocery bag under my car, right below the gas tank. A car passed by me, notified me of the hazard one day by frantically waving me off the road. "That could have caught fire and blew your car up," the thin man with a salt and pepper beard and matching hair cautioned. What madness! I was stunned. So was he when he realized that it had been taped there purposefully. Did Steve wish to kill me? Kill the girls in the car with me? That couldn't be true. Nothing made sense. Steve wasn't making any sense. I didn't want what he wanted. I didn't want to die. It all scared the hell out of me. It seemed like such a short step for Steve to take suicide from thought to word and from word to deed. The more he convinced himself that suicide was his best option, the more it spurred his suicidal behavior.